Puma's Fast R3. This one here, it's like a Formula One car. Let me explain. On the negative side, not everyone should drive one. We should just watch on the telly, watch everyone else running it. On the plus side though, if you can harness and control the power that is in this shoe, the speed that's in this shoe, this is one of the fastest experience you're gonna have in any running shoe out there. It's as simple as that. Let's talk about it. My name is Aubrey. I'm a very average runner, simply trying to be less average by the day. As at the time of filming this, you have given me 23,083 subscribers. Thank you very much. Disclosures. The guys at Puma have sent me this shoe for purposes of review, and they won't get to see what I say before you guys. They won't tell me what to say. They don't influence anything. They're just kind enough to send me the shoe ahead of running in it and then giving you guys my review. How have I formed this view? I did a 10K race in this shoe. I've done a fast intervals kind of workout and a long-ish run. We bailed on it, but I'll explain all of that in a second. Roughly bringing me to somewhere around 30K, 35K, and therefore giving you my initial impressions of the shoe. I'm currently training for a Sydney Marathon, so it's definitely gonna make more outings, especially in that intervals section. Let's go. The three things that you need to know about Puma's Fast R3 in terms of the price here in the UK is £260. In terms of the weight, I'm gonna dwell on this in a little bit. In a 9.5 UK, it comes in at 192 grams. That's amazing. And the stack, it's got 40 mils at the back, 32 at the front, giving you that 8mm drop. Okay, I wanna talk to you about the headlines. Now, normally in my reviews, I start going through the shoe review from the top of the shoe and head down. But I wanna do something different for this one because this shoe has earned it. The carbon plate midsole change. That's the headline for me. Number one headline. When I got this shoe, Puma's Fast R, when you look at it, the carbon plate's quite exposed. That thing broke. I complained to Puma. There's a video and it was a big hoo-ha and Puma replaced it with this version. Very grateful. Thank you very much, Puma. I didn't have a break in this one, nor did I have it in the Fast R2. What I am really glad to see, in the Fast R3, you can still see the plate. It's still there on the underside, but when you look at the shoe from the side, that has been covered up and is plugged in. Yes, it's still decoupled. You see this front bit of the midsole, that's the back bit, fine. But when you see this midsole run along here and that carbon plate is embedded into that, that is addressing a major flaw that I found in the Puma Fast R 1 and 2. The second headline, okay, I'm gonna have to go back to the first one. This shoe, Puma Fast R 1, weighed in 237 grams in my 9.5 UK, okay? It then got heavier to 268 grams. However, in this Puma, Gandalf, Harry Potter, I don't know what other witches they are, they've done it that it's 192 grams. 192 sub 200 gram race day shoe in a 9.5 UK. That is the second headline I want to talk to you about. Let's start with the heel, and I'll always appreciate it when a race day shoe has this kind of structure. When you press that at the back there, you can see it's protected. There is a very good heel counter and it offers structure. It also has sufficient and adequate padding back there. You'll be able to see that I haven't had to use my runner's knot in this one. It works very well. It works really well. The tongue. Now, whilst it's not gusseted, I love gusseted tongues, I won't lie to you. The first time I'm ever actually seeing, you see this tongue cut out here. Not only do you see it right here in the middle of the tongue, they then have these cutouts on the side of the tongue too. So attaching the tongue in 3 different places to the laces, that to me kind of gives me a bit more comfort that actually maybe you don't need a gusseted tongue. I don't know. It's uniform to the upper, and I will get to that in a little bit. With this non-existent but yet resilient material, the tongue is a very thin, highly breathable material. It's hardly there. And I did worry a little bit about maybe getting lace bite when you cinch down on these laces. But if you look at the tongue where you've got that Fast Start branding, I always love to highlight this. They've considered it and it's well padded. I didn't have any issues. Well done, Puma. Laces exactly how I like to have them. In terms of the lacing system, the eyelets, holes, and they've extremely reinforced those holes. You won't have any issues in terms of the security as well as the resiliency of the shoe itself, anything falling apart. They've done well. In terms of laces, the length is perfect, but give me those teethy, ribbed, edged kind of laces all day. Okay, the upper, well done. This is a job well done. This version of their Ultra Weave, you can't fault it. When I say breathability, this is what I'm talking about. Absolute gold standard. And I like that in terms of the shoe is literally see-through. Like you can see your future on the other side of the shoe. I love that about this. It is, when you look at it, it is quite narrow. I have to give you that. For me though, I feel like race day shoes require a glove fit. You can't afford to have something with your foot moving sideways, laterally, or whichever way you want to call it. It needs to fit specifically Cinderella mode. And that's what this does. For me, it's true to size and it works. It just does. I wouldn't size up or down. Stick to what you normally wear for your race day shoes. It worked very well for me. Aesthetics in terms of this, I love it. I won't lie to you, I did see a different colorway in this shoe, but this to me is way, way, way better in terms of the colorway. And I love it. I love it for what it is in terms of the colorway. Let's talk about the midsole. I touched on some parts. I don't want to repeat that. This is one of the best race day shoes for the pace and the form you can maintain. If you can only maintain very good form for 5K, this is that shoe. If you then can only maintain 5K and you'll try to run 10, the latter 5, you're going to feel, if you're not landing, if you're not executing and taking full advantage of this midsole, you're going to feel that. And this is why, to runners like me, I wouldn't pick this as my marathon race day shoe. I wouldn't, simply because I don't have the talent, the capability, capacity to maintain the form, the pace, the speed for a marathon. There are some runners that will, and if you can, I'm telling you now, I can't recommend a shoe any more than I can with this shoe. Because of that, I'm only putting this to a 5K, to a 10K. That's it, for my kind of running. And therefore, when I then get to the marathon or half marathon and I want to stick to the Puma line, I'm definitely staying with the Deviate Nitro Elite 3. Simple as that. Before I move on from the midsole, we can't ignore the fact that the carbon plate, when it runs from under the shoe, it then comes forward and protrudes. Actually, we first saw it in the version 2. It had this lip over here, where the carbon plate actually goes past the shoe and you can see it. It actually makes an appearance and goes whoop, almost like it's sticking its tongue at you. They've maintained that. Not only have they maintained it, but they've added an aesthetic feature to it that goes and matches the colorway. And that is that toe cap thing over here with the carbon plate. The outsole, a discrepancy in my opinion. Let me explain. Puma always stamps their outsoles by simply saying Puma Grip. Now, when you hear Puma Grip, you go, oh yeah, you definitely can't fault that. But I feel like there's a discrepancy here. This is Puma Grip. The Deviate Nitro Elite 2. This is the best outsole alongside Mizuno's Wave Rebellion Pro, the original one. This is the best outsole I have ever had on any running shoe. Puma's Deviate Nitro Elite 2. Now, when you call this Puma Grip, I get it. I really do get it. So when I started seeing this, even on the Mad Max, actually, you know what? Even on the Fast R2, you start to go, sheesh, this thing is rugged. But I'm guessing that's what contributed to the weight. the 268 grams we talked about. So when Fast R3 talking about Puma Grip, I have to disagree. It's not, like literally speaking, that's not the same. That is not the same. At all, it's not the same. Does it have a problem? Does it perform? Absolutely it performs. I didn't have an issue. I think it does exactly what it needs to do, for sure. But I don't think they should all be called Puma Grip. It's the same issue I have. Adidas's Pro 4 and Pro 3 both say Light Strike Pro, but we know that they're different versions of Light Strike Pro. It's the same thing I want to talk about with these outsoles. Actually, you know what, Puma? I don't think this is Puma Grip. Puma Grip to me is in a DV8 Nitro, it's in a Mag Max, it's in, all those other shoes. There's something about the standard of Puma Grip that's in those shoes that I'll gladly tell anyone on any one of my reviews, Puma makes the best outsole. It's because of that Puma Grip, not this one. This one though, still works. I didn't have any issues. I still think it's resilient. It's got really good coverage. There's no issues whatsoever. Okay, now I don't want to make my rant here seem pointless. I need you to hear what I'm saying because I think it's relevant and it's very important. That, to me, is key. Aubrey, who is this shoe for? Any person that's wanting to challenge their pace. If you've got a race day coming, or you're doing your intervals and you really want to put yourself to the test, this is that shoe. But it is a shoe that is highly efficient, effective at that fast pace for as long as you allow it. I need to land that point because in my 10K race, me and my friend Paul said, listen, this shoe is fast. Let's give it a go. And we pushed it. And the shoe just says, let's go. Simple as that. Should you get the Fast R3? Absolutely. For your race day, if you're really gonna apply yourself, yes, you should. For your interval sessions, if you're really gonna give it a good push, absolutely, yes, you should. There is no doubt about it. That's just how it rolls. I'll see you in a bit.